Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. So the box office this past week was no surprise. Transformers 5 knocked it out. Knocked it out to get the #1 spot with $45 million.
I mean, it was, everybody's always curious. It's the train wreck that everybody slows down, the car wreck, you know, the massacred bodies that people have to slow down and go see anyway, even though you know it's going to be something that's just not going to be what you want to see.
Well, this is actually the worst performing opening weekend for a Transformers movie in the franchise's history.
Because here we're getting tired of it, just China isn't getting tired of it.
Well, it was released actually last Wednesday, and with the weekend for the 5-day, it was $69 million in the U.S. China, however, and international.
5 days, it's $69 million?
Yes, 5 days is $69 million.
$69 million in 5 days.
Pirates of the Caribbean did 70 in 3 days.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's ridiculous. Yes, because everybody was like, that movie blows.
Internationally, yeah, and you hit it right on the head. China, for the whole overseas, $196 million.
And this is why Michael Bay won't stay retired, because they're going to cut him another $20 million check.
He is not.
Now direct the next one.
Supposedly this is done. Now we're gonna actually do a separate show.
Do you think
as far as spoiler review
of Michael Bay over in China somewhere, and they're all like, best director ever?
Oh, we love him. Talk about a cheaty movie. Okay. You know what? We actually have a spoiler review coming out pretty soon, so that'll be out shortly. We're not going to get into it because there's just way too much to talk about because it pissed me off. But anyway, all right, #2, still holding on strong, Wonder Woman with $25 million.
Damn, still making money.
Doing some pretty solid business. The reviews are still going strong. It's holding on pretty good. This is actually I would say the straight up the DC Universe first solid hit.
Yeah, it's such a good win that I think women who aren't fans of comic book films are going out, getting together, getting groups, and going out and seeing it multiple times. Every time I see somebody who hasn't seen it the first time, they're like, oh, we're getting together with a group of girls and we're gonna go see it. We're getting together with a bunch of people who don't watch comic book films and we're gonna go see it. So this film probably is just gonna continue to make money every week. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing stays in the top 5 even when Spider-Man comes out.
I wouldn't be surprised either. And to be honest with you, with all of this sequel fatigue this year, because we haven't had any really solid sequels with the exception of Guardians and Planet of the Apes pretty soon.
Right.
Yeah, it was good to have something original to come out. Now, granted, it's an established character, but still original content.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen it before.
Exactly. Speaking of tiresome sequels, Cars 3 was #3 with $24 million.
Competing against nothing, and it still
can't. Yeah, so it's kind of a disappointment, unfortunately.
It's competing against Captain Underpants.
More than likely, it's done. That franchise is done.
We're probably not gonna see another one.
47 Meters Down remains in the top 5 at $7 million. I'm telling you right now, have you seen it yet?
Still haven't seen it.
Intense movie. You got to check it out. And that's only on scenes I've walked in. I haven't seen the whole movie yet.
Will it make me forget The Shallows?
It won't. It'll make you forget The Shallows. It won't make you forget Blake Lively.
Is
Mandy Moore or Blake Lively?
Blake Lively.
Exactly. All right, #5, The Mummy with $6 million, rounding it out.
$6 million.
$6 million. That movie is done, and
wow.
We talked about it on a previous show as far as the international is not helping it out whatsoever. That movie is finished. It's not going to do anything.
You know what they need? They need to have Michael Bay direct The Mummy.
Yeah, and put him over there
in China because they love it in China.
They love it in China. All right. So that rounds out the top 5. This week we have Baby Driver opening up, and it's opening pretty strong reviews. Edgar Wright directed it. It looks really good. Kevin Spacey and Jamie Foxx, John Hamm's got a great cast, and what's his name, Aspen? Anson Elgort? I think that's
Ansel Elgort.
Ansel Elgort is he's getting praise for his performance in this movie after Fault in Our Stars and Divergent and all these movies.
It looks like a fun. Driver.
Like Heist
or Drive. It looks like a fun version of Drive.
I can't wait. It looks really good. Another one is The House with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler. Where I want to go see that movie. That movie looks hilarious.
Mildly interested in
that movie. Looks hilarious.
He has movies that have great premises that don't actually execute well.
That's true. Yes, it is true. And of course, Despicable Me. You want to talk about, this movie will actually show whether or not series fatigue is going to settle in, because that movie, I'm hearing a lot of good things about it, and I guess it's just something about the Despicable Me, because not only the characters, because you still have Steve Carell, but then you get the minions to be their supporting.
Yeah, we get Trey Parker in this one, no?
Yes, we do. We get Trey Parker. We get Kristen Wiig back as his wife, as Steve Carell's wife. So, and Steve Carell plays dual roles as brothers. So I got a lot of people that have actually the anticipation is there for that movie. So we'll see how that one goes. Wonder Woman, cleaning house. We've already talked about it. Okay. In my opinion, I think it's taken the female lead to a different level, in my opinion. But there is one person out there that thinks that it does not take anything, does anything for women, and that's Alicia Silverstone. Now, she recognizes movies from the past that have actually done more for women, like Bridesmaids and Mean Girls.
Or maybe Clueless, that didn't do anything for women, but make them look stupid. That's Alicia Silverstone. Or what was that movie where she was what was it called? Babysitter? When she was supposed to be the underage babysitter that was trying to steal somebody's husband and then murders them or tries to murder them?
The Crush.
There you go. Crush. Yes, Alicia Silverstone, you are the spokesperson for women and them being portrayed in a great light. Go on.
She does not think that Wonder Woman has done anything to revolutionize movies, stating, of those movies in the past. And if you really think about it, some of the movies that we talked about as far as Aliens and all those good movies that we've talked about. But she says that the type of content that Wonder Woman has out there is something that she doesn't want to watch or her kid to watch. This is more for the audiences, and the audience want the explosions.
But she wants her kids to watch Diary of a Wimpy Kid? That's what we want? Because that also went well to boost women in the eyes of everybody. Go ahead.
Is she still sour because of Batgirl?
Oh yeah, Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin. Oh my God! So because your superhero film didn't do well, let's go bash every other woman in their superhero film. Goodness.
Now she's actually distanced herself away from
who has it? From George Clooney
from Hollywood. But George Clooney's he's actually won an Oscar for Solaris. He's gotten acclaim as a producer for a lot of the films. Money Monster looked excellent. I still haven't seen it, but damn it looks so damn good.
What is it? I would say O'Donnell. Chris O'Donnell dissed himself.
Chris O'Donnell.
Everybody in that film.
It pushed Chris O'Donnell to do friggin' Law and Order or whatever the hell he does on TV. CSI on TV. What's going on? Anyway,
so she distanced herself.
So she distanced herself on that, but but the article that I read actually stated, and this is very true. It's kind of a contradiction her, because if she had a chance to reprise her role as Batgirl in this one, she would jump at it hardcore.
She'd be in the gym right now, getting her Marvel abs on, and working out just like Gal Gadot did, and we wouldn't be talking about this if they said, "Hey, we want Batgirl in the Wonder Woman 2 sequel. We're gonna take out Halle. We're gonna make it a love triangle now. It's gonna be Alicia Silverstone, Halle Berry, and Gal." God, I actually might see that movie if they did a love triangle. I'd see it. I would watch that film. So Alicia, please get on that. Get on that.
Well, somebody that does not have to work out is Tom Hardy, who is chosen to play Venom in the new spin-off here for the Marvel Universe. I'm not Marvel, for the Sony Marvel Universe. I'm sorry.
Spider-Verse, I think they're calling it.
Spider-Verse, yeah. This is what we know, that he is playing Venom, and we also know that Carnage is the villain in the movie.
Which is a little bit fast-forwarded, because Carnage is a later thing, because Venom's an established character at that particular point. We go through his feud with Spider-Man, and then since the symbiote is asexual, it had like little offsprings. There was the Spawn and Venom, and he had all these other symbiotes come out, but Carnage was the one that actually bonded with Cletus Cassidy in prison, who's already a serial killer. So it just made the evil feelings plus the abandonment issues plus the serial killer nature,
everything come out.
Yeah, so I mean, his is a vicious character.
So that'll be Life 2.
It'll be, yes, it will be. And there was a thing in the comic books where they had Venom versus Carnage. So you got Ryan Reynolds. we bring him back for Life 2. Did he died in Life 2. That'd be Jake Gyllenhaal. No, it could Deadpool, because Deadpool can die and come back.
Anyway, so that's what we do know. What we don't know is whether or not he's going to be part of the MCU.
Right.
Okay, now Sony co-chairman Amy Pascal said for now he is not part of the MCU.
Right.
It's a standalone movie. It's pretty much going to start this new. Now, we usually talk about multiverse.
That was a good thought there.
That's a good thought there. It was so good. I got soundtrack there. Anyway, much like the way Iron Man was as a standalone that started a franchise, this is what's going to be the standalone to start this new universe. It might borrow Spider-Man, but what they're saying is that it's a possibility that Spider-Man will show up. It's just not going to be the same Spider-Man. It's not going to be Tom Holland. So there lies, and we talked about it before.
I can't see them doing that.
We talked about it before. Where is it a different? Was it Morales? Is it somebody else that's going to play the role of Spider-Man? What do you think about it?
They'd be convoluting the story if they do something like that. If they bring in a different Spider-Man, if they do Miles Morales, or if they do who's the Scarlet Spider when they did the Spider clone thing? I can't remember. All right, from the back. Who was the Scarlet Spider?
I don't remember.
6 hours later.
Art, you're a great resource.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember who the Scarlet Spider was, but
It'll be one of the clones.
Well, that's what the Scarlet Spider was, one of the clones.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but anyway, if they do that, they're changing the story way too much, and it gets away from what they're borrowing. It gets too far away from what the source material that they're borrowing from. So why would they go ahead and do it? It would be a big mistake for them to not, because his powers are all based on Spider-Man. So why would you not use Spider-Man? And you already got Tom Holland, who everybody loves. Why would you cast another Spider-Man? Because now you have to really start getting the audience to accept this new Spider-Man when they just accepted one already.
I think you're absolutely right. And I mean, it was bad enough that the window between Garfield and Holland is so close, so small that you're absolutely right.
And people were upset about that. Yeah. And it wasn't until Tom Holland just happened to do a good job that people were able to accept it. Now, the thing that I think is that, because if you listen to her interview, because I actually watched it, so she says that it's kind of in the same universe. And if we think about things like Netflix, where they're in the same universe as the MCU movies, but they don't cross over. There's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that has a little bit of a crossover, but everything on Netflix doesn't, and they're all still in the same universe. So if you do something like that, just say like, okay, this is a Venom movie, this is a Silver and Black movie with Sable, and Black Cat, sorry. If you do that and just say like, yeah, we all revolve around Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my connection to the MCU, but I don't actually interact with anybody from the MCU, then it still stays separate, and you still get to use the same Spider-Man, and Spider-Man doesn't have to mess with anything that's going on in MCU.
I think depending on the success of Homecoming and also his appearances in the Avengers and all that, there's going to probably be some times where executives are going to, like in Marvel and in Sony, are going to probably tinker some ways to get him involved into some capacity, because to have that many people playing the same role and in separate universes, it kind of confuses everybody.
Exactly.
And I mean, we were having the same problem with Fantastic Four and how to squeeze them into this and that. So it'll be interesting to see what role they go to. But for now, let's just enjoy Tom Holland as Spider-Man and Tom Hardy as Venom.
Right.
Which Tom Holland really is excited. He really does want to go up against Tom Hardy. So
yes, that would be great. It'll be awesome. And didn't we have a moment where they said that it was like, oh, we're not ever going to do anything with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not going to be in the Infinity War. And look at where we're at.
And exactly. And 67 characters. That's insane. Sticking with Marvel, Blade is big fan favorite. I love him. You love him. Wesley Snipes actually just personified the role. Did a great job when he started it in '98.
And one of the taxes got him.
One of the best sequels, one of the best comic book sequels ever made is actually in my top 5 of comic book movies. Blade 2 was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And then he blew dog with Trinity. Anyway.
But features Deadpool.
Featuring Deadpool. There is a possibility that Blade is going to actually make a return to the big screen as part of the Marvel universe.
Now, go ahead. Finish it.
Wesley Snipes says that he's on board, but it's up to Marvel. First, it started that there was a rumor about a Netflix series featuring the character. That did not happen.
Right.
Is it time for Wesley to make a comeback as Blade?
Well, see, I thought the idea that they were floating around when they were talking about the Netflix series is that we were going to do his daughter.
But he was going to be kind of like a mentor.
Yeah, he was going to be the Whistler.
X-23.
Yeah.
To his X-23.
Yeah, she was going to be his X-23, and he was going to be her Whistler. I don't know if that makes sense.
Whatever.
But like in the Blade universe, the Whistler thing. So I kind of wanted to see that, because don't we think Wesley Snipes is kind of old now?
True, but if you go that route, in all honesty,
we're gonna have an old Blade.
Old Blade.
Old Blade. Like, he's rusty. He's dull. kind of makes him scary.
You can still go that route, actually, to have his story be a Logan-ish type of story with the
transitioning over time.
Exactly, but still keep him in the MCU. I think it can still work.
Undead, so
he can still and he can still move. He's still athletic. He's still he can still do the fight scenes, fight choreography, and all that.
No, I think he's still a great martial artist. So
exactly.
I would be happy to see him back. I was looking forward to them doing something else with him taking a back seat and bringing a different type of character into this particular universe.
Would you want it to be recasted then?
No, we never went. We already got to see that with Fredro Starr, and didn't I
Sticky Fingers?
Sticky Fingers. I did this last time. We already saw the recast. Nobody liked the recast. We only want Wesley Snipes' Blade.
But at the same time, that was TV. This is
they're gonna have a budget.
Films. Would you want him to? Would you want him to?
It depends on who they cast. So when they go out and
Tyrese.
When they go out and get Michael B. Jordan, then I'll be on board.
Well, he can't. He's in Black Panther now. So how do you think?
Dual roles, sir. Dual roles.
How do you think the character of Blade would actually fit in today's MCU?
Well, now that they're getting more to magic and stuff like that, now they've opened a door to a lot of supernatural things.
True.
So it can work. It absolutely can work. I mean, we got stuff with Iron Fist, using the magic that they have there, with the
Doctor Strange.
We have situations like that where it's opened the door for them to do more less than grounded characters. So I think it would work well. I think it would do something else. Like I said, I wanted to see it as Netflix with those particular characters, but if they bring it into the MCU, let's see it.
I think it would be great to see him back on the screen. It's been way too long. Another person that's been out of the picture in the film industry there is, in the film world, is the Predator. So Shane Black is bringing the Predator back, starring Thomas Jane and Jake Busey, actually. And the casting of Jake Busey is interesting, and it actually shows the continuity as far as timeline, because this is actually going to connect to the first two Predators.
Jake Busey is Gary Busey's son.
Gary Busey's son is
from Starship Troopers.
Yeah. He's in the Predator. He's in the Predator. And he's actually playing Gary Busey's character's son from Predator 2. So there is some continuity there. And that makes it pretty interesting there.
So make me excited about that.
but from a standpoint
Predator 2, the worst Predator.
But I'm talking about from a continuity standpoint, I think that's actually pretty cool to have him there. He was basically saying that Shane Black called him, look, we ain't got no money, but we thought it'd be cool for you to be your dad's son in the movie.
He's always living in his dad's shadow.
And that is why he said that he would do it. So
he's always living in his dad's shadow.
Production is already wrapped last June, so we can have a release date of next year. With this continuity now, will it make or break the sequel? And do you need Arnold if you're going to have? Because I'd rather have a connection to Arnold's Predator than Danny Glover's Predator. I would rather have a connection
to Arnold's Predator, because Predator 2 derailed the franchise getting a Predator 3.
True, but if you want to think about it as far as some positive things about it, it did introduce you to the concept of Alien vs. Predator.
It did.
And the black man didn't die in it.
He didn't. But Danny Glover doesn't die in anything. He didn't die in The Color Purple. He didn't die in Lethal Weapon. What did we ever see Danny Glover die in? It was like, that dude is unkillable. He's always too old for this. He's been old in everything. But anyway, I would like, before I get on the Danny Glover, right?
Yeah.
I would rather they have to get Arnold in it. Look, Arnold is reprising other crap. He can get back in for this. If he's gonna do more Terminator movies, he can get back into this franchise.
Well, he didn't want to get into it because of the fact that his part was going to be really small. I don't think it should matter.
It shouldn't. Just be in it. Like, it's for the fans. All it is like, dude, they brought Vin Diesel back for Tokyo Drift, the worst Fast and the Furious film.
No, but you don't hate it. But you don't hate it.
But they brought him back for that, for a small thing. So look, do like Vin Diesel did. Ask to get another movie made. Say, I'll do the cameo if you guys will help me greenlight this other film, and then go and do it for the fans, dude. Come on.
If he goes the Bruce Willis Armageddon route and he does Dutch self-sacrifices to the
there
team,
you go.
That would actually be a great ending to the whole. It'd be some closure, for the whole character of Dutch in the first place. So
you get to say the line, "You're one ugly
mother clugger." All right. Speaking of ugly mother cluggers, Mariah Carey.
Whoa. For shame. She has never been referred to that.
Well, in WTF news, Mariah Carey was actually a lot of her scenes from the upcoming movie The House with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler.
She's in that movie?
She was actually signed to do a cameo in it, and she was so ugly on the set and rude and unprofessional and very diva-like that they just pretty much cut her scenes. They didn't want no part of her.
I believe that. I totally believe that.
There was a stunt in the movie where she refused to do the stunt as written because she felt that she wouldn't do it like herself, because she's playing herself. She wouldn't do it. So they had a hard time with that. She was pretty abusive to the director and pissed off a lot of people. Will Ferrell wouldn't get into it when he was on one of the talk shows, but there are other actors that have given in full detail about how she behaved, and it does not paint a pretty picture for her.
I mean, dude, she drove Nick Cannon away. I mean, if you can drive Nick Cannon is like one of the happiest people on earth. And it was like, if you can drive him away, this is like,
it's crazy.
You got to be tough to work with. And like I said, she's been a diva for like 2 decades. So I mean, you got to expect that they needed to pamper and give her everything that she asked for. The minute they said no to something, she was gonna have a fit.
Well, the director tried to compromise and tried to do everything he could, but it just wasn't enough. Now, she did not make the final product that's going to be released in theaters, the final cut, but a lot of her cut scenes may show up on DVD extras, so that's going to be really freaking interesting when that comes up. Watching Glitter, why would you want Mariah Carey in the first place?
Because we saw Glitter, and she needs to come back. She needs to come back.
Hell no! Stay away from Mariah Carey's crazy ass. Alrighty then. I cannot believe that well, shit, I can't believe Mariah Carey would actually act like that. Would you? He's a big diva on the set, so sometimes we have to put him in check also. But
all the time, man.
I just can't believe it. This is actually Evian water because he wouldn't take regular water.
Ball breakers they are over here. The of course I would. I mean, like I said, that's not beyond who she is. People have said that for years with her.
Yes, we said it about you too.
All right.
Terrence, take us home.
All right. So as always, we want you guys to get out there and comment and like the video. Let us know if you guys are liking what we're doing. Make sure you tell me how much of a fan you are of Mariah Carey's diva ways. And
Terrence's diva ways.
There's very little diva ways that I have here. They treat me like a diva. I'm special. So also make sure you subscribe so that way you know about all the other things that we're doing out here. We're changing up the cast. We got more people coming on. You're going to see a lot more faces, a lot more new things, and hopefully you guys like it.
For Aspen in the back, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was the goods.
What did you wear?
Hey, did you? Hey, you know, beer makes you smarter. It made Budweiser.
That's right. You weren't here for that joke.
All right, let's go.